looking at the eyes from Tiffany Valentine in 1998's Bride of Chucky. Released during the Scream era of horror films, Bride of Chucky introduced much more humor and self-awareness into the story, which worked incredibly well in my opinion. Chucky does get a redesign in this film, and the skin material used is different, which hits the light better. But today we're looking at them green eyes from Tiffany Valentine, portrayed by Jennifer Tilly in the opening portion and then transferring to her doll form in her first voiceover role before being introduced as the voice of Bonnie on Family Guy the following year. Tiff is a homicidal maniac, but has a sweet side. She's a romantic and is a babe. Yeah, pretty much. Tiff is obsessed with bringing back Charles Lee Ray with this massive collection of dolls, but is able to get her hands on the good guy doll himself. Frankenstein's him up and we're good to go. Once we got both dolls, they need to make their way to New Jersey to the burial of Chucky's body. With the help of young Katherine Heigl, a feature film debut from Nick Stabile, whose character Jesse makes quite the introduction. Damn, brother. They cruise on out, leaving death, explosions, waterbed mishaps, highway casualties, and baked chocolate chip cookies along the way. And during this journey, we get a handful of, you guessed it, eyeball shots. So let's head back to the Child's Play series and get our eyes open on Bride of Chucky. So for the initial idea of Bride of Chucky, producer David Kirshner was apparently in the video store and came across the box art of Bride of Frankenstein and thought about the Chuckster. Don Mancini loved the idea and wrote the screenplay, and gave Chucky and Tiffany more of a leading role this time around, which was a change-up from the initial 3 films. David drew up the design of Tiffany and brought it again to Kevin Yeager, still the puppeteer coordinator, who then brought together all the features of Tiffany. Before the doll comes into the picture, we get this badass entrance from Jennifer Tilly, with Rob Zombie's Living Dead Girl playing, walking along in 5-inch heels under blue light. Come on, this shit's good. Then jumping to the montage of Tiff putting herself together. Hair, makeup, clothes, with Blondie blaring in the background. This shit is classic. You feeling this? With the practical effects still being utilized from the crew, the set would be packed since it takes just for one doll 7 to 9 crew members to operate. With the addition of Tiffany now, the crew had 2 dolls together in almost every scene. That was double everything behind the scenes compared to the original Child's Play. And speaking of the original Child's Play, the screenplay was originally going to kill the babysitter while being electrocuted in the bathtub. Director Tom Holland changed this to the iconic shot of the babysitter falling from the kitchen window. With Bride of Chucky, the scene was now incorporated with Tiffany watching the film's inspiration on the TV, and Chucky's ass comes storming in and knocking the television in the bathtub, and ultimately killing Tiffany. Oh hey, eyeball shot. When it comes to the Child's Play series, I go the original, Part 2, Bride of Chucky, and then Part 3. Bride just hit that 90s horror soft spot, and for a horror film, Brad Dourif and Jennifer Tilly bring a lot of heart to these characters.
We're dolls, you dope!
By this point, Chucky had reached horror icon status and gives some of his best moments, and come on, the little shit is adorable. Apparently there were plans to release an album of songs for Chucky with a duet from Tiff and Chuck on Hit the Road Jack, which I am upset never happened. And with the worldwide total box office taking in $50 million, Bride of Chucky marked a bright spot in the Child's Play series. And of course, let's not forget them eyeballs.